Okay, I love to get super practical. I'm like a very action-oriented coach, and today I'm going to talk to you about monthly activities you want to be sure you're doing in order to crush your annual goal. So this is going back to that idea of if a lot of times we don't meet our goals because we set really good audacious goals January, we're feeling really motivated, and then we're not seeing the follow through happen throughout the year, and so we're not revisiting the goals, we're not having the habits and the actions that support them. And so that's why today we're going to talk about what are the monthly activities you should be considering doing, or I am working to do in my business in order to hit the audacious goals I have for the year. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'm all about helping and supporting you make more money in less time doing more of what you love. So let's go ahead and get started with this episode. I know it's going to be key in hitting your goals, hitting those monetary goals, those time freedom goals, those lifestyle goals that you have for yourself and your business. Okay, so there are 5 different areas I'm going to hit on today. And so we are going to start with numbers. So monthly, I would highly recommend that you are filling out your P&L sheet, your profit and loss sheet. So you are making sure that you are making sure your account is balanced. You figured out what is your high level business revenue, your expenses, your profit, and you have it balanced for the month. This is not only going to help you when you go to submit your work for your accountant for taxes, whether you're paying quarterly or annual taxes, but this is very important for you to have an idea of your numbers as you're making decisions on pricing and how many clients you're bringing on and team members that you're bringing on and things that you're investing in, all those types of things. Perhaps you want to work with a coach, a mentor, you want to join the inner circle. Okay, well, we want to get you there, and you've got to start with knowing your numbers and making decisions that are going to help you make the money to get to that space. So not only are you going to make sure, the second thing I want you to do with your numbers, not only are you going to make sure you've kind of just got them down, so you've got your profit and loss statements kind of nailed, but you're also doing some sort of projection analysis with your numbers. And so I kind of started talking about that, but you want to have an idea of, okay, what does this mean for me as I look at my business moving forward? Can I hire that person? Can I up my ad spend? Am I getting my ROI here? So we want to have a bit of analytics around the numbers, and we want to have some projections going on. So, okay, I'm having this launch coming up. I'm having this thing coming up. I have this many clients that are already locked in at this rate for the next 3-4 months. So you can project out, okay, this is where I'm at least sitting now. I have an idea of my fixed expenses or my expenses monthly. And so it helps you to start sort of thinking forward. So monthly, you're going to make sure you're balanced. You've got your P&L sheet, and you're going to look at some analytics and some projections around your numbers. Ooh, fun. This is so empowering. And if you're like, oh, Erinn, you're just a numbers nerd and that's not me, girl, that's gonna be you, because that is the identity we need to have as business owners. We're not running hobbies. We're not running little side gigs. We are serious badass entrepreneurs that need to know our numbers. The second area is your content. So each one of us should be pushing out content just like this in our businesses, because this helps us really show up and serve our audience. It helps us nurture. It helps us be seen as experts. All of these things, it's critical for our businesses. And so I advise that you are at least a month ahead in your content. So I'm recording this video in December for January. And so that's an important thing, because if you've got a team or you've got different pieces, you're wanting to be able to batch work things. And so this is effective and most efficient with your time. And it also just makes you show up and serve really well. So I want you to make sure in your month that you are allocating time for content creation for the following month, content creation and scheduling for the following month. And before you do that, you need to review your analytics from your content. So look at your social platforms, what's performing well, what's not performing well, what open rates do we have in our email list, what click rates, what about if we have any launches, any evergreen funnels. I want you to be reviewing your analytics for your content before you go into content creation for the month ahead, because that's really critical, because it could change. Maybe you're realizing, hey, people are really they're really opening this type of email, not this type of email, so I need to change my formatting, I need to change my subject lines, I need to push out more content like this and less content like that, I need to change my graphics or things like that. So we're always reviewing, educating. And so for content, monthly, reviewing analytics and making sure you are batching your content and scheduling it 1 month in advance. Okay, our third one is I want you to just have some general evaluation, reflection, goal setting, intention setting that you do monthly. I use the Brendan Burchard High Performance Planner. I love it. It has daily, weekly, monthly sort of prompts and exercises for you to work through. So that's an amazing tool. But you want to have some level of reflection of the previous month. And I always want this to be personal and business related, because to me, those are like one and the same. It's not a dualistic type of thinking here, because we are the business. So how we are physically feeling, how we are emotionally feeling, socially feeling, all of that impacts our business. So have some level of reflection on, hey, what did I learn from this past month? What are my gratitudes? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Those types of questions to sort of learn from the month. And then set the intention for the following month. Okay, so this is my main big picture goal for the month. This is like the one thing I'm working on. So if I think about things, it would be something like, hey, this next month is all about batch recording podcasts, or this next month is all about building out this offering, or revamping my website, or maybe it's about like colleague connection. As somebody with individual strengths in the Strengths Finder, I love having sort of like themes for my months. That's very helpful. So however this plays out for you and is best for you, creating some sort of goals and intentions that align with your bigger annual goals is going to be key. So creating some sort of evaluation, assessment, reflection, and then intention setting is our third point for what you need to do in your months. The next one is all around team. So number 4 of the 5 sort of activities you want to be sure that you're doing monthly to hit your annual goals, it's about your team. So some of us have a team, some of us don't. Some of us are like working to build a team, so maybe you put this in your pocket for the future. But this is something that I am so thankful for. There is a whole team behind Erinn Bridgman and behind the Inner Circle and the Up-Level Society and all of the things that we do. I get to be the face of the brand, but oh my gosh, my team is like rock stars. And so really making sure that you are supporting and investing in your team is critical. So a couple things you want to do with team. One is I would recommend analyzing sort of the month before. So what were their hours? Look at their toggle reports, or however they're logging their hours. What did they accomplish? Maybe you create a monthly evaluation for your team. So, hey, I want you every month to import what you feel you're really proud of that you accomplished, what you need more support with, that kind of thing. So having some level of reflection, accountability with your team, versus both in hours and responsibilities. So checking that, and then being sure that I believe in high expectations, high support. So that's kind of how I lead. And so I want to make sure that I'm setting up things like my monthly team meeting, or my one-on-one meetings, or the meetings I have with different portions of my team. So making sure you kind of have that on your calendar, you've got that solidified, you're doing the work to analyze, review, support your team is super important, because you are just part of the impact, right? And so as your team is healthy, as they are functioning well, as you are leading them well, your impact grows. And last but certainly not least, make sure that you are honed in on your scheduling. So this is you looking at your calendar and reviewing your block scheduling template, making sure that you're implementing that, revisiting that, and also deciding on your batch work. So what are the batch work stuff that you're going to do based on your goal, your theme for the month? So if it's podcast interviews, it's making sure you kind of see where those are scheduled or where those are happening, or making sure your admin VA is thinking ahead for that. that type of thing. And then making sure that you just kind of have a general idea of here's where my meetings are, here's where my blocks are, being able to own your calendar, own the schedule, and dictate what's going to happen in those different pieces. You should already be operating out of some sort of block scheduling template. So this is you just retouching in based on your themes, based on your goals and your intentions, having a good idea of the flow of your month and plugging in, okay, my intentions are to work on these, so where am I going to do that in what blocks or batches in my month? Okay, so those are the 5 practices, 5. There's definitely more, but I'm bringing you those 5 that you should be practicing monthly in order to hit your annual goals. Some of that is you working ahead a month, so it's not necessarily what you're going to do that month, but it's you thinking ahead for that month, for the next month, or it's activities you're going to do that month to kind of get prepared and get set. So it's your numbers, it's your team, it's scheduling, it's having some sort of reflection and goal setting, and it's creating a content review and content scheduling. Okay, I'm excited. You guys are feeling fired up. You have the action and intention you need to do in order to make more money in less time, doing more of what you love through these monthly habits. I'm so excited for you to get started. And if you haven't already, I would love, love, love to see you in the Up Level Society, my free group where I show up weekly and we do even more coaching, workshopping together. It's a great time. There's a whole community of hundreds and hundreds of female entrepreneurs in that space that are excited to grow as well. All right, cheers for now.